I'm so glad to see you all back in the garden. What job was I just doing in the garden? Does anyone know? Have any of you been doing that at home? I was raking leaves. The leaves falling off the trees is a big sign that fall is here. Today, we're going to look around the garden and see what are all the signs of fall that we can find. Whoa, the wind is blowing in the garden. Okay, let's go along and see what signs of fall we can find. Before we start to look for signs of fall, take a minute to think about if you've been already seeing signs of fall in nature. Maybe around your house or in the park. What signs of fall have you seen? What do you notice here? This is the pile of leaves that I just raked. What colors do you see? I see some yellow and some red and some orange. Look at this leaf here. It has lots of different colors on it. When leaves turn brown and red and yellow and orange, that is definitely a sign that fall is here. Let's see what else we can find. Do you see what I see here? We're looking at a tree. It's a special tree. Do you know what kind of tree it is? Let's zoom in on the fruit, and then maybe you'll have an idea. It's an apple tree, and there's 2 apples over here, and I see one way up there. It's a little dark. It might be hard to see. We pick apples from the tree in the fall. So the apples are a sign that fall is here. We already saw that the leaves from our tree fell off and turned orange and red and yellow and brown. But other leaves change color too, not just on trees, but on smaller plants in the garden. So here we have a milkweed plant, and some of the leaves are still green, but some of the leaves have gotten very yellow. This is a sign of fall. Here's our biggest tree in the garden. It's way taller than our school building. This is a tree called a larch tree, but it's kind of like a pine tree, which you might be more familiar with. So I'm going to go all the way to the ground and see something that is a sign of fall that came from the tree. What do you see here? It's a pine cone. Have you ever seen one of these before? In the fall, the tree drops its cones to the ground. So finding pine cones is a sign of fall. Here's a plant that has a really pretty yellow flower. A lot of flowers bloom in the spring and in the summer, but there's a few flowers that bloom in the fall. This is one of them. Does anyone recognize this flower? It has a nice yellow color. You might even call it golden. And the name of the flower is goldenrod. Let's see if we can look at it a little bit closer. When you see goldenrod flowers, that's a sign of fall, because the fall is when they bloom. Wow, what do you see here? This is from the top of a plant. There's another one here. The plant grew leaves, and then it grew this tall stalk, and the top of it made these things. What do you think I have in my hand? If you guessed seeds, you're right. In the fall, a lot of plants make seeds that can be used to grow other plants. So seeing seeds in the garden is a sign of fall. Let's see if we can look at one more seed from a plant. Here's some seeds that look really different. They're also on the top of the plant, and maybe we can pull some off to look at closely. That's what they look like in my hand. Another sign of fall, seeds in the garden. The last sign of fall we'll look at is this plant right here. What does it look like to you? What do you notice about this plant? I noticed that the leaves look pretty brown and really dry. Let's see how it sounds. Whoa! When I touch it, it's really hard and crumbly. It just crumbles off in my hand. As it gets colder in the fall, some plants like this can't live in the cold weather, and so they die. Their leaves get brown and kind of crispy. Their roots might survive underground, but they go to sleep for the winter. So seeing brown, dead plants is a sign of fall. Let's take a closer look at all the different signs of fall that we found in the Peabody Garden. First, we found the red, orange, and brown leaves. Next, the apple. After that, we found the yellow leaves. Then we found the pine cones. After that, the goldenrod flowers. Then we found the seeds. And last, we found the dead leaves. Thanks so much for joining me to look for signs of fall in the garden. I hope that you can find some of these same signs in the Peabody Garden or just outside near your home. Maybe you have a garden at home, or there's a community garden on your block, or maybe you can walk to a nearby park. Signs of fall are all around us. I'll see you again soon. Bye.